You and I are in a game of Deadpool Says, and Deadpool says drop a like and subscribe in the next 5 seconds and your school will remain closed until next year 2021. Do you want a free Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 2 Battle Pass?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to be gifting hundreds of subscribers literally over the next coming weeks, so make sure you subscribe to the channel and comment your Epic Games ID down below so that way I can gift you the Chapter 2 Season 2 Battle Pass, and if you subscribe right now, you potentially could be our 1.5 millionth subscriber. Also, don't forget to use code FriendlyMachine in the item shop when picking up the Battle Pass if you happen to buy it or be gifted it or gift someone else it, and let me know in the comments if you have done this so I can heart it to show my appreciation. The Fortnite storyline going into Chapter 2 Season 2 has been very unpredicted or unstable in terms of our understanding anyways, even since the start of this chapter, initially starting out with 2 teams, one good and bad, obviously being the alter ego variant of the good versions themselves, and the ego team, well, being the good guys. This entire season developed and led up to a point where we thought we had the answers as to who was behind everything going on in this new island or realm, being the Chaos Agent that we've only now just discovered recently is responsible for making the Slurp legends in this specific trailer. And oh yeah, not to mention the fact that Alter and Ego or the specific Season 1 Chapter 2 storyline has completely been void, replaced by a new feud between 2 teams with their old logos of Alter and Ego being Ghost and Shadow. But with everything mentioned, with everything seeming so complex right now, and obviously until the release of this season we received so many teasers that people didn't know what was what, we're going to be diving in depth more so to one specific thing teased, being, well, the Midas pyramid that's going to be a potential upcoming named location, also largely involved with our storyline, the Midas skin, and even the unreleased Golden King Oro skin, or time-affected version of the Midas skin. Either way, make sure you're sticking around and watching the full video today because things are about to get juicy and more so interesting in terms of why things are happening to our map in Chapter 2 Season 2 or Chapter 2's new map as a whole. So the first starting point I figured we'd mention in terms of why nobody's revealing this giant pyramid being teased as an upcoming named location physically also shown is because of the fact upon the release of this season or in the lead up to it, we had so many teasers as previously mentioned, but upon release of the season, all these named locations that were newly introduced not only contained a load of new features such as henchmen and bosses carrying their own unique mythic weapons, obviously being stronger than any other henchman, but recently we've also seen the second or additional Season 2 update, the unfinished kind of part, with the new chopper or helicopter vehicle, so all of this content has been a lot to digest, newly innovating for a new direction of Fortnite anyways, so for the people who did see this specific teaser out of all the ones Fortnite put out on their official social media, due to how subtle it was, will have either completely forgot about it or disregarded it as something perhaps scrapped, obviously pre-planned to upcome in this new season. This giant pyramid, nobody knows when it will be coming, but we have some further confirmation also teased in some of the cosmetics of the Battle Pass, and we know cosmetics in each Battle Pass can foreshadow events or specific things upcoming. For instance, the Angry Volcano sticker in the Season 8 Battle Pass of Chapter 1, which is pretty self-explanatory in terms of its purpose or what it indicated, being the unvaulting event, more specifically when we left the vault, the volcanic eruption striking 3 particular areas. The cosmetic in mention foreshadowing an upcoming pyramid-like structure in our Fortnite Battle Royale island is actually this loading screen. This in itself is unlocked for free if you don't even own the paid Battle Pass at level 58, not only showing off Meowscles but more specifically the smaller map image of these pinpointed 3 locations. Overall, doesn't this look familiar? Well, obviously a triangular shape is really one form of pyramid that we could be seeing based off what we've been teased toward here as a named location or landmark that could be implemented. And from visiting each of these named locations, as you'll see on screen right now anyways, on the map there's nothing too specifically special about what's going on in these particular areas, obviously then meaning there is potential for further development to be made in each of these areas as there's nothing important currently ongoing. Now by all means, due to the pyramid structure of how these are joined up anyways in a triangular form, I'm not saying this is going to be literally a giant pyramid covering most of the map. No, what I'm indicating or implying is that pyramids or a pyramid could sprout up in at least one if not all of these particular locations. If you guys are wondering how this links to Midas, or King Midas should we say, having the ability, or wishing for it upon touching everything to then turn it into gold, well, here is a tweet that I found interesting over on Twitter, obviously picking up upon some of the small storyline developments or map changes that are currently ongoing right in front of our eyes, but are very small, or so small that not many people, if anybody, are talking about or regarding them as something potentially important in terms of future developments. It appears someone stole Midas's chair from the agency and some documents, brought them across the lake in a canoe, put them into a truck and drove the truck towards Salty Springs. And here are the images in mention that he's referring to that I'm going to be putting on screen, obviously for a certain amount of time accordingly, so you guys can get a good view of what I just read out from the tweet itself. It's safe to say either way, with Midas being responsible for all the Battle Pass skins having this gold turning enlightened variant, he will be one of, if not the main characters in telling us what's happening this season, or actually being responsible for what happens due to what he decides as a character to actually do. Now, speaking of the Midas character, many people thought before the season released, again, like these teasers, that this character would be the Oro skin. However, then upon the release of the season, turned out to be this suited up gold so turning character. The reason for this is because Midas is a Greek mythology king who obviously then, as previously mentioned, wished to turn everything into gold and had this granted. With Oro being completely gold, seeming like he's wearing a crown, this resemblance almost seemed too good or too obvious to be true. Well, now as it turns out, considering we haven't seen Oro already rotate throughout the item shop or come to the game in any other form like a bundle, with him being teased initially in the Chopper trailer showing off also the skin and Deadpool skin and emote for the first time, many people around the community have gathered some shocking discoveries linking Midas and Oro together as if they're almost one character but from different times. From a side-by-side view of the skins, this also makes more of a creepy or eerie truth, or resemblance anyways. As you can see, somebody tweeted earlier that I managed to find the tweet comparison, stating that Oro could simply just be an aged version of Midas due to the same scar or actual cracking in the Oro skull being on Midas's skin. Honestly, considering the Visitor had been teased in the Season 2 Top Secret trailer to be making some form of reappearance, however was teased in the form of tree carvings, with everything time related or dimension related that went on with the Seven and the Visitor's kind in the last chapter toward its end, I can definitely see this as something that will be happening, a future Battle Pass version or self of what we're currently seeing clashing with the current time version. Either this being the case, or they could reside on different teams of these particular two agencies, Ghost and Shadow, and us being available to see this for the first time upon the doors being available to proceed through for the Midas character instead of just Sky that we have remaining also. If this were to be the case, this would definitely mean whatever team the Oro style resided on, this character's skin or skin style of Midas would be the reason for why these pyramids, or at least one of which in one of these three areas, would be constructed. The reason for this is because before the season started again, many people did digging into King Midas and found that his temple looks exactly like the redacted area on our map, this secret bunker that also has an uncanny resemblance to the bunker Dr. Vindman's laboratory at the start of Save the World in the cutscene. If this is Midas's lair and he's having a conflict or clash with his future or alter ego self on the other agency team Oro, this could then mean that the pyramid location, wherever it happens to be, or if three are constructed, could belong to Oro himself. This then kinda contradicts why Midas's chair and documents have been moved from the agency more so north toward the outskirts of Pleasant Park, or one particular selected region out of the three on this loading screen, but again could obviously easily be made sense of in such a way that Midas is predicting the appearance of the Oro or other version of himself, perhaps belonging to a particular agency, and wants to get ahead as he knows the intent of him to construct things or bases in these particular locations by going there or with a team to gather intel himself. Pyramid structures in-game or taking up a whole named location have been something previously that players have enjoyed, for instance when implemented or updated at the block, so would you guys like to see a location like this again? And that's all for today's video in terms of our storyline conspiracies or just generally speculation, so I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, make sure to slap a like in the video down below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, turning on all notifications if you haven't already done that either, so that you never miss any future uploads and even can be the first to them as soon as I post. Hopefully I can also recognise you guys from remaining active in the comment section of my future videos to come, and I'm out. So have an amazing rest of your day or night wherever you are whenever you're watching, have a good one, take it easy, and as always, peace.